Alright, Wagwan family, welcome back to another Unstoppable recap. Now, today's recap is a very sad one. You know, on Unstoppable Live, we cover all different type of topics. We cover from domestic abuse, we cover molestation topics, we cover green card issues, but this one today is one of those topics. It's one of those molestation topics. Yes, and it's truly sad. Now, this lady is talking about what her very own brother did to her as a child, and for many years it continued. She even went into saying how she felt like her mother failed her as a mother because her mother didn't protect her in a way that she was supposed to. She was mistreated by her mother. She was called names. She was basically treated like an animal by her very own mother while being raped numerous times by her brother. She even told her mother about this, but nothing happened. Nothing changed. Viewers, this one right here is a touching one. It's only the recap, so take a listen to what was shared on Unstoppable Live in this episode.
Well, growing up, we was poor. We was living in a 2-room house, I could remember. So one room was the living room, the other room was the bedroom. So it was like, them country house back in the days where we have the outside toilet, outside kitchen, and all those things. So now my father and mother, they would sometimes put us on the same bed with them, or we would sleep on the floor. There's a point when I could remember that they could not control themselves, They would do them things in front of us. That is, I could have remember at the time my brother was 5 years older than me, and I was like 4, he was 9, and because I was so young, I did not remember my mother having a belly, but I could have remember sometime along came a sister in the picture. Yeah, I become big sister now because I have a younger sister to join me. So most of the family start increase. So me and my brother would sleep on the floor sometimes, and like when my father is not home, we could have get the chance to sleep on the bed. But that is all about, poverty. Now, I could remember my father saying that he's gonna go out and work because he don't really have enough money for finance the family. So he start working on a truck now, and that is in Montego Bay. So he could not come home every night like he's supposed to. So he would leave sometimes 1 month at a time, or like 3 weeks or so. Then he would come back home. So this time, most of the time, it would be me, my sister, my brother, and my mom alone at home. I must say she never usually leave us alone. She was always home with us. Yeah. But on this particular day, she just said she's going down the street, and she soon come back. And my brother, now that I said is 5 years older than me, as I suggested earlier, he was the one I supposed to look at me and my sister. By this, my sister is walking now, she turned like, she start growing up. Yeah. And because I'm not much older than, and my mother left him and said, take care of your sisters. I'm going down the road. I'm going by my sister. Well, I'll be back. Anyhow, she left him. He assured her that we will be okay until she come back. Like the typical Jamaican parents. You leave the bigger siblings with the bigger sister or brother with the smaller siblings. So she thought we were gonna be okay in his care until she came back. But unfortunately, it was not so, because this boy, he was a snake on the grass, and he was unruly and naughty. And I would suggest he was small, but he was creepy, very creepy. Um, I remember we was playing under a tree. I was swinging on the tree, said to me and my sister, "Come, let's go up." So we walked back up to the house, and when we came inside, there was this um sofa, settee, and it was them small little ones that made of velvet. We have a little settee that was like the best thing in the house. And he instructed me to sit on that chair, and there wasn't much space left, because it was like a small one person sofa that one person could fit in. And my sister was sitting like on the bar, on one of the bars. So he said, "Okay, we're going to play a game." I must say to your listeners that this is very disturbing. And he said, "We're going to play a game." And I said to him, "What game?" He said, "You're going to say that you're selling fish, and I am going to buy fish from you." Okay. I was thinking, okay, it's going to be okay games, because selling fish, that don't sound bad. We're kids. But then it takes a turn for the worst, because he instructed me to take out my underwear. When I took out my underwear now, he said I should spread out my legs. I'm trying to sugarcoat this, it not sound too disgusting. So I just try to be as decent as can be. He said I must take out my underwear. He said to my sister that she must do the same. Anyhow, I said, "No, why I should do this?" He said, "Just take it off." I said, "No," like a small kid. I said, "No, I'm gonna tell mommy upon you. This is not okay. I'm gonna tell mommy upon you. Why you want me to take out my underwear?" He said, "Just take it out anyway." He assured me that nothing's gonna happen. So yes, I did. 4-year-old, I'm a kid after all. He's my big brother. He's 9. He's supposed to know how to protect me, because they taught him how to. And he said my sister must take off her underwear. But anyway, she is in the beginning of my story. Not that I'm telling her story. This is my story, but because she got involved in the story, the first time ever that my life has been traumatized by this brother of mine. That's the reason why she came up. So anyways, when I did take out my underwear, he said, "Okay, now spread your legs." Spread my legs. He said, "Okay." He said to me, I must repeat after him. I must say, "Fish, fish, I'm selling fish." So I said, "No." He said, "Say it." And I said it. Then he proceeded to use his fingers to like, oh my God, how can I fix this up nicely? Like spreading the cheeks of my private part, and then he placed his finger in there and start rubbing, and acting like a grown man that would be doing a foreplay. And then I felt this burning sensation, and then I was like, "This cannot be right. Stop it, can't be right." And it hurts, and he was acting like a grown but pedophile, because he was like describing the color of it and say, "Oh, it's ready." And then he proceeded to penetrate me, and the first time he did, it was not successful, and he tried the second time, and then he tried the third time, and then he said to my sister while doing that, you get up and put on your underwear because you are the smaller one. I'm not going to touch you. Then after he tried the third time now, to be honest, he wasn't all the way successful, but he was somewhat successful. He had a little with a pleasure, and he was like, yes, it cannot go in there. So get up and put on your underwear before mommy come and catch me. Okay. And he said, you must not talk about this. You must not tell her mom when she come back. So it wasn't long after my mom was home, and I told her. And when I told her, now keep in mind, this is, some people, they have some children that they pray to. That is my concept. That is how I say it. This is just my disclaimer. Praying to take it for God. Yeah. And this child is like the child that they pray to. So you know that he's been favored over the rest, and worst is the older one. So they give him charge over us to, he can beat us if we do anything wrong. He can correct us and all of that. So while he did this, he searched his brain for anything that he could find that I do to make a threat, like saying, okay, like for example, you didn't wash the dishes, just for example. So if you talk, I'm gonna tell mommy that you didn't do this or you didn't do that. And that he was smart at what he did. So anyways, when my mom came, I told her, and I repeated every single thing, not repeat, verbally. I told her what happened. And she called him, and she said to him, and called him by name, and said, did you do it? He said, no, I didn't do it. And she picked up the belt now, and she said, did you do it? I'm gonna call the police on you. And he said, no, I didn't do it. And she just put down the belt and said, didn't beat him either. I said, okay, when your dad come, I'm gonna tell your dad, and if you do not stop penetrating your sister, when she becomes 17 years old, she's gonna carry a child for you. Now, as a small child, I was so shocked, I felt betrayed, and I felt like she failed me. That was the first time in my life I felt betrayed, and I felt like she failed me from that age. And then I'm not gonna lie, from that day I was going to infant school, basic education, but when you're a kid that go through a lot, you were forced, your mind is being forced to grow up, you understand? So therefore you don't have the experience of or the knowledge of a 4-year-old. You can think like you're 10, 11, So in my mind, I was thinking, this lady, I don't like her because look how she treat me. I was not expecting this, because if it was me and I did something wrong, and even if I did something wrong, it would be less than this, and then I would get whooped. Yeah, she would have whooped my butt. So anyhow, my dad came home, and when my dad came home, she said she was going to tell my dad. When my dad came home, I was listening to hear she mentioned what had happened to me, but she did not mention anything to my dad. And my dad was there, I don't remember, like about 2 weeks or so, because he had to go back to Montego Bay to work. And they continue with their what I called adult movie in front of us. Didn't have no respect and no morals and values about themselves. They just do it in front of us, and they just continue with them antics until my dad was ready to leave again. My dad just disappeared, as a small child. That's how I saw it in my mind. Dad disappeared again, but I know he disappeared to go make money, and she did not suggest nothing at all to him. So after that, we left out of that house, okay? And I but before we left out of that house, I could have remembered um abuse, no? It kind of stands still a little bit, I don't know if him catch him afraid or what, but it wasn't long after the abuse though that we left that house and we went to another house to live. Now this house that we went to live in, it was a rented house also, and this house now was bigger, so all of us could sleep in one room as children, and then my mom and dad would sleep in their own room, and we would have like a dining area and a empty room that was very, very dark in the night. Even in the day, sometimes you would really have to open the window. That room was the creepiest room of the house. And when we went to live in that house, please bear in mind that all of the kids was sleeping together now in one room, and we didn't really have that much money that we could buy beds to say, let the females sleep on one bed and then here's our big brother sleep on the other. And as I suggest before, that they have no limits when they are doing their adult things, yeah. But this time we are just not seeing with our naked eyes because we have separate bedrooms. But my mom was somebody like this. She didn't control herself. We could hear her bawling out, yeah. Even when we was in the first apartment, that was like a little studio, I must say. While sleeping on the floor, sometimes I would feel like I would have just placed my hand over my ears and just squeeze my ears hard enough that I don't hear what they're doing up there on the bed while I was lying down there on the floor with my brother. Yeah, and my little sister wasn't really, because she was the baby, so she was mostly next to them. And yeah. So while I was at this new house, now they continued, and only because we're not seeing with our naked eyes this time, but we could hear my mom around there, and she would scream out and make her nice them, and we all are adults on this program, so we know them type of nice. They say children are not supposed to hear those, though you keep it on the down low. But anyhow, by this, remember, my brother is growing up now, yes, and I graduated from basic school and I was in first grade at primary school. So he was in primary school long before me, and now he start turning 10, and everybody start growing up now. We start getting older, but the abuse still continued while we was at that house, because I could remember that he started just penetrating me like that. Yeah, he would call me and say, "Oh, come here," and I said, "For what?" And he was a person like this, wish bad. Like if I don't come, he just walk up to me and say, "I'm not gonna do anything to you. Just come here." And then that boy is so creepy, as I said. He's a dark demon, because he would just walk up to me as his sister and just grab my head and just like pop my tongue until my throat hurts. Yeah. And then if I'm lying down or so, and my mother is not home, then he would like say, "Come here," and he looked like a raper man in the bush. I saw him up. And he would like, "Come here," and then I said, "For what?" And then he said, "Come here. I'm not gonna do anything. Come here." And he said, "If you don't come, I'm gonna tell mommy say sweep up the yard. Tell mommy say wash the plate." And then the breeder a lick where you get over your back out of a switch or a tree limb or a belt or something. So, you know, you just submit yourself. And that's exactly what I did. And then he said he was like he would just throw me on the bed and just do his thing just like that, you know. And then he was acting like a ram goat. And then yeah, when he finished, then I would just get up. And then when I get up, I would just like I said, I would always have this burning sensation. Yeah. Now I could remember that I told my mom again, she do not do anything. This time she just dismissed the case like nothing happens at all. She just don't ask him this time if him do it, or she still don't tell my dad. She just dismiss it like, you know, she only listen. She don't even respond. She no communication. She keeps silent. So when he sees this now, he knows that he have the right away because you know him at the God and nobody's gonna beat him, nobody's gonna discipline him or anything. And beyond all that, I would get beaten for whatever I do. And I was a very quiet child, you know. I was the quietest child of the family that even they call me Simple Simon because they have a style to say, you can't mash auntie, you Simple Simon. Yeah. And beyond all that, I used to go through a lot of verbal abuse from my mother, and my father was somebody that he doesn't have mercy when he was beating us. Yeah, he would beat me until my skin bleed, and my mother, she would beat me with anything she find. I remember she beat me one time with, you know, a bush broom that we used to sweep the yard, and there were splinters left inside my hand because it went under my skin. So those are the type of beating that I used to get. They don't discipline children like, you know, call children and talk to them, and you know children get beaten but have mercy upon them. They would curse bad word and, you know, call me names and beat me till, you know, beat me to no limit. Yeah. So all that was weighing down on me too, along with the abuse that my brother was doing. And because I was a simple child, they always say, "Oh, you're retarded, girl, you're retarded." So at the end of the day, I just didn't want to complain anymore because everything that I did, my mom reminded me that I'm retarded. And I said, I'm not going to tell her because nobody cares and they're going to call me retarded. And, you know, they say me not have no sense and me a simple Simon and the abuse and, you know, and, okay, so the abuse continue. I was in first grade. It continued. And then I think while I was in, grade 3 or second grade, I think, we moved from that house and we went to a piece of land that we leased. Yeah, my parents leased that land and they built up a little board house. And then here comes the one room again, the one room situation. So we moved and we went up there on that hill to live. Remember, everybody growing up now, you know. I'm in a grade 2 and he's 5 years older than me, so you know, so he's growing up and he have more sense than me, and you understand his knowledge is more advanced than mine. But he was growing into adolescence, so meaning in the meanwhile, while his body was maturing to adolescence, my parents was doing their stuff, and we all know that little boys have wet dreams and stuff. So I think his little thing was standing up after the noise, and you know the blue movie where they might do adult entertainment where we are here and what we had seen. So he took it out on me when they do their thing, and it looked like him turn on, so he turned on me. Anyway, here comes the one room situation again. This time we could afford to buy more than one bed put in that one room. Now it was 2 beds. We wasn't sleeping on the floor this time. So we, my mom, dad would sleep on their bed, and then we would have sleep on our own bed. Yeah, but all of us bundled up like a flock of sheep because more brothers, one more child was added to the family this time. Yeah, before we that child was being born at the rental, so we did live, and then we carried that baby to up on a hill where we made the boardhouse. So say it reached now to 4 children. So they continue, as I said, they don't have no morals, no values, no respect, nothing about themselves. They continue doing their thing. I could have remember they used to told us to cover on our head, lie down and cover on our head. That's the command of my dad. Um, lie down and cover on our head. Don't look over here. And as night come down as they could pick me, we used to just hear them moaning and groaning over there, and them do the first round in the night as then God bid them do the first round. And then we are left sweet them all in the middle of the night. Them would have lick a second round, and as early as the morning is like my dad would wake us up pretty early before the time that we are supposed to go to school, because school start, I think 8:30 school started that time. And him make we get up and go outside like about from about in the 5:30 6 o'clock there, in the dawn of the morning. And he would say, not in a nice manner. He would just wake us up, raga raga style, saying, "Yo, get up, no picnic, get up, go to do, go outside, go shower." And the morning was cold, and we just go there and we just fold up and we are tremble. And then the cold and liquid, because sentan cold, sentan cold. And then we would hear them inside doing them things. I do them thing in there. We are here. And as I said, my mother, she was a screamer. She didn't hold on her voice, and she expressed herself, and we don't hear that. And on weekends now, we used to also hear it. But in the nights, while she was over there screaming and we lying down beside our brother, he would turn on me. He would just creep over, come on top of me, or maybe if I turn my back, he just creep up behind me, and him just he satisfied himself. This time he just penetrate me. And then on weekends when they're not home, because my mom used to go out now, go buy groceries and stuff every Saturday, he would just have his way. Now this time this boy would do it like to me like 2 time for the day, a weekend time and stuff, me understand. And by this I was growing up, but as I explained, every time he reassured me that if I talk, he's gonna talk on me that I didn't wash the plate, I didn't this, I didn't do that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm afraid of beating, but it reached a point where um I tell myself I cannot continue like this, because a brother is not supposed to be going to his sister so much. And in my little mind, I was asking myself, why my mother do not do anything about it when I tell her? Now the verbal abuse continue from my mom. Now it increases because it started becoming, she start calling me out of my name. She have a sister that a big sister that she claimed that big sister is the ugliest sister of all her sisters. And she's always tell me the least of the thing I do, she say my mouth long like a hog, and me ugly and look like that particular sister. And yeah, she used to call me out of my name, and she used to abuse me verbally a lot. And she used to tell me that my effing head dry like I'm if move from your song where ugly like. And that's the verbal abuse I was getting, plus the sexual abuse from my brother. So I feel like a nobody. I'm like somebody like this that used to hang my head down when I talk to people. I used to my toes to like dig into the dirt. When I was talking to people, I was not confident about myself, and I was not really assertive while talking to people. And at school I would escape from all this, and I would be playing with my friends. But while playing with my friends, keep in mind that this was bothering me, because it stuck in my head. Because you can imagine, every day you wake up, you hear, oh, you're ugly, your mouth long like a pig, your effing head dry, like the least little mistake that you make. Yeah, you're ugly and favor your auntie and all of those things. Yeah. So while I was playing with my friends, I could I remember one of the time I used to disappear, yeah, because there was an outside pipe, and I was always going there, and I wash my face with water, and then from the outside pipe that we used to drink from. And when I went back, I looked on my friends, and but I didn't tell them what was going on. And I asked myself as a child, why is my friends pretty? Why are my friends pretty? Why my friends' mom never tell them that they're ugly? Why my effing head dry? Like, why my mouth long like a hog? Why me ugly and favor me auntie? You understand? Why my teeth them look like the vampire? Because I have gap teeth, yeah? And I have a weird type of gap teeth. My gap teeth look like my grandma's gap teeth. So she claimed that they look like vampire. Cause okay. And I was asking myself why my friends don't look like, why I don't look like my friends, why I wasn't born beautiful. So in my little mind, I feel like I wasn't washing myself good, or maybe it's my dark skin complexion. Maybe if I was a white girl or something like that, I would be beautiful. So I wash my face all the time. When I went back and look at my friends, and I was visit pipe outside pipe of the schoolyard very often. I wash my face, but I couldn't wash off the ugly half of myself. You understand? I keep on seeing the same person in the mirror.
Now there you have it, family. Truly sad one, right? Now if you want to hear the rest of this story, it was shared on Unstoppable Live, and the link to the entire video will be in the description. You can click it and it will take you to the full story, where you can listen to the rest of what the caller had shared on the live program. It is very interesting, and it gets even worse the more she goes on in this story. Family, if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, or if you want to be a part of the live show when we do go live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, when you go over to the live channel, make sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the notifications there, and select all notifications so that you can participate and call in when we are live. All right. And also, while you're here, make sure to click the subscribe button here and turn on all notifications as well, so that you will get the notifications when we upload another recap. All right. Until the next recap, stay strong, stay motivated, but most of all, remain unstoppable.
Unstoppable.